Thank you, Hunter. Well, since 2010, the Environmental Protection Agency has raised concerns about substances commonly referred to as PFAS chemicals. Now, at the Whiteman Air Force Base in Knob Noster, there are 8 PFAS contaminated sites. Targeted investigators took a deeper look into the matter.
KOMU Bates' Steffi Roche joins us now here in the studio. And Steffi, you found data that shows both PFAS chemicals and asbestos are present on the base.
Yes, that's correct. The Missouri Department of Natural Resources says there are PFAS chemicals. There's also an emerging contaminant called PFAS. But in this targeted investigation, I'll explain the data on PFAS at the base, but also I'll present some of the potential health risks those exposed to it could face. And you'll get an inside look into the documents I found concerning asbestos at the base. It's the home of the 509th Bomb Wing and the only home of the B-2 Advanced Technology bombers. It's also home to a PFAS concentration of 89,000 parts per trillion. That's according to a 2018 test from the Environmental Working Group.
89,000 parts per trillion is quite a lot.
And that figure is nearly 1,300 times what the EPA allows. PFAS are widely used, long-lasting chemicals, often called forever chemicals, because of how long they stay in the human body and environment. After World War II, PFAS was prevalently used for Teflon, items like fast food wrappers, as well as in firefighting foam. PFAS and PFOA are components of legacy aqueous film-forming foam, or AFFF, which the Air Force began using in the 1970s as a firefighting agent to extinguish petroleum fires. It was commonly used to help control plane crash fires. At Whiteman Air Force Base, the foam was used to extinguish fires and also used in training exercises.
They've been using that foam since the 70s at Whiteman Air Force Base, and it's still persisting in the environment. It could have gotten into the groundwater. It could linger in the air.
Chandler Duncan is an associate attorney for the Environmental Litigation Group based in Birmingham, Alabama.
Being exposed to that much PFAS is very dangerous. These are very carcinogenic chemicals. Any exposure can be a dangerous exposure. So living on base, working on base, and being exposed to that much at all times it's very dangerous and puts your health at risk.
The main concern in the PFAS and AFFF litigation as a whole concerns suing the companies that created, sold, and manufactured these chemicals, such as DuPont and 3M, who are the creators of PFOA and PFAS.
There is some concern that the government and the military knew the dangers of these chemicals.
At Whiteman, there's 8 active contaminated sites. 7 have remedies in place that involve cleaning up the contamination, but 1 site is under investigation.
There's also a base-wide drinking water ban on potable water from the base. You're not allowed to drill a shallow drinking water well on the base.
The drinking water supply was sampled in 2016 and again in September of 2021. PFAS has been non-detected in the drinking water. But there is the emerging PFAS contamination on the base.
That is under investigation right now. We're currently looking into the status of is there PFAS at Whiteman Air Force Base. And we have ongoing investigations right now, actually, that's looking into seeing, is it there?
I also came across documents that showed the presence of asbestos at the base. I found this reference document concerning Building 35 on the base. The document shows a verified map from 2014, as well as images showing the presence of asbestos in the building's aircrew lounge, base weather station room, weather base conference room, utility closets, tiles, and wall panels. The DNR provided a statement of work document that shows this reference document is connected to the bid to have Building 35 demolished. The base later confirmed with me that Building 35 was demolished in September. It's been vacant since September of 2021. The commander of Whiteman, Colonel Daniel Deal, did say this in a statement. Quote, "The asbestos found in Building 35 was properly encased during the occupancy of the facility. It was identified within the statement of work for the contractors demolishing the building to prevent exposure during demolition and to ensure proper disposal of the materials." End quote. Yet, it's unknown if anyone has developed diseases from exposure to the specific contaminants at Whiteman Air Force Base. But could an exposure to those contaminants at the base lead to further health issues down the line?
It all depends if you were exposed. how long you were exposed to it, how much of it you were exposed to. It's science.
If you worked on Whiteman Air Force Base and you worked with firefighting foam for 20 years and you used it regularly and then you developed testicular cancer, it's almost a surefire specific causation for your testicular cancer being caused by that AFFF use.
The Environmental Working Group has a list of the top 100 most polluted military bases. Whiteman Air Force Base came in 69th place on that list. And just yesterday, 3M actually announced they will stop making PFAS chemicals by the end of 2025. For further information and the links to all the documents and data from this investigation, look under the Target 8 tab on our website at KOMU.com. In the studio, Steffi Roche, KOMU 8 News.